Hi guys. So today we're going to be doing a workout for those of you that are in your third trimester. So depending on how you're feeling, a lot of us tend to be quite tired in our third trimester, especially towards the end, sort of latter part. Your baby, your bump has probably grown a lot, so you've got less space, I guess, to do certain types of movements. You don't want to be doing any movements supine, lying on your back, or on your tummy. Obviously, you can't do stuff on your tummy. Now, the preferred movements, really, the best movements are kind of standing, side lying, so lying on your side doing your glutes, as long as you've got a pillow to support your tummy, and sitting. Okay, so this is why I've got a block. If you guys, I've got just a little a Pilates box, but if you guys have got a chair, then you can use a chair. Not something that you can sink in, so ideally it's quite sturdy and hard to sit up on. What else? So the most important thing in your third trimester is to kind of keep moving, but gently. Everything's going to feel a little bit slower. Try not to do like 60-minute workouts that just completely exhaust you. Maybe just do a couple of like 20 to 30-minute workouts a week. Work on your breath, work on your pelvic floor, your TVA, and just be kind. If you suddenly wake up and you think you don't want to do this workout today, then don't. But sometimes it makes you feel better. I know that. So sometimes just, also it's a fantastic way to prepare for the birth, right? So lots of pelvic movement is really good for preparing it for birth. So let's get going, okay? So we're gonna sit on our chair to begin with. Now you can either sit cross-legged, like this, not like this, or with your legs out to the side, depending on what feels most comfortable. I actually think this is quite a good one because it means that you've got room in your hips, okay? And your tummy can come in front of you. Okay, so let's just focus on the breath. So close your eyes, reaching the crown of the head up to sky, drawing your shoulder blades down your back, and just start to move your pelvis. So start to sink into the lower back, round and lift. So just doing sort of tiny little circles, not too deep, just tiny little circles, stirring that pelvis round and then circling the other way. So just moving those hips. Good. 2 more this way. And then release. And then you're just going to go forward and back. So anterior tilting the pelvis and then posterior tilting the pelvis. Anterior, you can use your hands to help you. You pull your hands towards your knees as you sink forward. And then you're pushing back with the pubic bone. Pushing the pubic bone forward and then back. Just 2 more. Forward and back. Good. And then I want you to lift your right hip slightly off the chair and then sink it back down, lift the left hip. And think about using your obliques and your core to lift one side and then release, lift the other side. Release, lift the left, release, lift the right. And then just find stillness. Okay? And then again, drop the shoulders down. Think about that crown of the head reaching up. If you want to turn the palms up, you can. We're just going to focus on deep breathing. So don't worry so much. The Pilates breath is really good, but at this point in your pregnancy, you may be doing sort of meditative breathing, birth preparation breathing. You might be learning different types of breathing patterns to prepare yourself for the birth. So don't worry too much about the Pilates breath and get worried about it at this point. I'll bring in a little bit of the breathing out, because the breathing out helps the activation of the TVA, but just focus on this deep breathing. Okay, that's what's really important. So inhale, exhale, inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth, inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth. Good. Now on the next exhale, I want you to think about that TVA starting to tighten and your pelvic floor slightly zipping up and away from the floor. Imagine you're pulling up a little kidney bean up and away from the floor. So you're zipping that tip of the diamond up. So inhale into the back and sides of the ribs. Exhale, breathe out, start to tighten tummy and zip up pelvic floor. Inhale, let go of that pelvic floor. Exhale, tighten and squeeze. Inhale, release and let go. Exhale, tighten and squeeze. Inhale, release and let go. One more time. Exhale, breathe out. Lovely. Now you're going to bring your hand onto the side of your chair or just onto the edge and just reach your left arm up and over. Think about actively pushing that left hip down and then bring it back to center. We want to avoid doing long stretches, especially at this point in your pregnancy. So we're just going to move, dynamically move into our stretching. Good. Exhale, reach up and over. Inhale, release. Exhale, reach up and over. Inhale, release. 2 more times. Lift and release and lift and release. Other side. So I want you to actively think about pushing your right hip down as you reach your right arm up and over. Inhale, lovely, and again, lengthening between your right fingers and your right hip. And then reach and center, and again reach and center. 2 more times, lift and 1 more time, lift. Nice, okay. So reach your legs out in front of you. You can have them wide depending on what feels comfortable, bent knees, whatever feels comfortable. Bring your hands in front of you, make a tray. Think about drawing the belly in and just bring in some external rotation, okay? If you're feeling strong at this point, you can always, like we did in our second trimester video, grab hold of some weights, okay? And just think about exhaling, putting those hands back. Inhale, bring it forward. So think about those elbows squeezing into your side. You want to think about the movement coming from the shoulder blades squeezing together and then this external rotation through these upper arms. Okay? So you're retracting and externally rotating as you pull back and then internally rotate and then release the shoulder blades back to neutral. So again, squeeze. So these are really good exercises for opening up the chest, but strengthening that back body. Good. 5, keep that TVA nice and tight all the time. 4, and 3, and 2. Last one, pull it back and hold. Squeeze those shoulders down, reach the crown of the head up, pull the TVA in and pelvic floor up for 3, 2, and 1. Release, good. Just roll the shoulders back and down, roll the shoulders back and down, and then we're going to go back, up and round, back, up and round. Nice. Okay. Bring the hands down to either side of your chair or stool, or if you are sitting on a thinner chair, they can come down by your hips. And we're just going to reach the arms all the way up overhead, but keeping the ribs and tummy nice and tight, and then circle it, squeezing under the armpits to pull the arms down. So again, if you want weights, you can use weights to reach the arms up overhead, TVA, and then squeeze under the armpit and the lat to pull these arms down. So you want to think about squeezing against this imaginary force as you bring the arms down. Inhale, lift the arms up to sky. Exhale, squeeze and pull it down towards the floor. Good, reaching up, ribs closed, tummy on. Exhale, pull it down. Good, lift and breathe out. You can do any breath here, so sometimes you like to breathe out as you come up, inhale down. So whatever feels is nice for you at this point. Good. Last one, lift it up to shoulder height and pull those arms back behind you, tummy on, release. Pull those arms back behind you, release. And again, exhale, pull, inhale, release. Exhale, pull it back, inhale, release. And again, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold. Now tiny little circles with the arms. Okay, try and keep the arms as straight as you possibly can, reaching those fingertips away from you. So tiny little circles coming from the shoulders. Keep the tummy on and the crown of the head up so our spine is nice and long. Good. 5, 4, just getting into those shoulders. 3, if you're holding weights now, it's really going to start burning, I'm sure. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Good. Now holding onto the side of the chair, just drop your right ear down towards your right shoulder. Inhale, lift, left to left. And then as you drop your right ear to right shoulder, think about actively pulling this left shoulder down. And then the same on the other side. So left comes to left, but then you're actively pulling this right shoulder down. One more time on the other side. And then swap. And then release to neutral. Now, as you get later in your pregnancy, the circulation in your ankles is not very good. So we need to keep moving. So try as much as you can to keep the legs up for a certain period of the day, and let's just do some ankle circles with your feet. So these are a really good way of getting circulation back into the feet and ankles. Good. And then circle the other way. Holding onto the chair to do this. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. By the way, if lifting 2 legs at the same time is too tricky, just do 1 and then do the other. Okay, so left leg on the floor. Extend your right leg onto the floor. Hold onto the chair if you can. TVA, crown of the head. Now try and lengthen that leg in front of you, so you're pushing your heel towards me, flexing your foot, and then look at your leg, pull your kneecap up your thigh. And then you're going to squeeze and lift that leg as high as it can go, and then inhale, lower. Exhale, lift the leg as high as it can go, inhale to lower. So you should really feel this in your sort of hip flexor and your right quad. Inhale to lower. Exhale, squeeze to lift. Inhale to lower. But the key is to try and keep that leg as straight as you possibly can. So try not to bend the knee, because then you're just going to be doing leg lifts like that. I want the quad to work as well as the hip flexor. 4, lower. 3, lower. 2, lower. 1, hold. Now point the toes and little lifts at the top. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Oh, you should feel that in your quad. Okay, so left leg. Push that left heel away, flex the foot, activate that left quad. So I want you to pull that kneecap up the thigh. TVA, crown of the head reaching up. Remember, you don't want to lean back. You want to hold onto your chair and sit up nice and tall. Use the core to stabilize. Lift, lower, lift, lower, lift. You can also think about really pushing the right foot into the floor to try and keep you there, because if you let go of the right foot, you might lean back. Good. 8, 7, 6, 5, keep that leg straight. 4, 3, 2, 1. Point the toe, little pulses at the top. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Woo. Nice, guys. Now be careful coming up off your chair. So use your hands if you need to, and then we can move our chair away. Okay, so we're going to come and lie down onto our right hand side. Now if you need a pillow, if you've got, if your tummy is a bit bigger than it has been, you need to protect that bump, because if you lie on your side, it's just going to flop. So get a pillow and put it underneath your tummy. And then be really mindful about lying down, okay? You don't want to put too much pressure on your core. So lie down onto the side and then use your hands to help you lie down. Now, you've got to find a position that feels comfortable. If lying on your right side like this feels comfortable with a pillow under your tummy, then do that. Or you might want to come and lie on your arm. But try not to sink into the shoulder. Think about pushing up, tummy nice and tight. So I'll do it on my arm, but if you want to do it lying down fully, you can, okay? So think about your TVA pulling in, so wrapping the baby towards your spine, and then lifting the top leg up to hip height, okay? You don't want to lift your leg too high. Just keep thinking to yourself, reduce range of movement, okay? You don't want to lift that hip too high, so just lift it to hip height and then lower. So squeeze to lift, inhale to lower. Exhale, squeeze to lift, inhale to lower. And every time you lift the leg, I want you to squeeze your glute knee. Try not to let that top hip open up. You want to keep it square, okay, facing forward. And then use your core. So every time you lift the leg, you tighten the TVA. Inhale to lower. Exhale, squeeze and lift. Inhale to lower. Exhale, squeeze and lift. Inhale, lower. Keep going. We've got 7 and 6 and 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one. Lift and hold. Now bring that leg in front of you just so you can see your toes. And then pull that leg back behind you. Use your glute max to pull it back. But don't let yourself go into a big back bend. Keep that TVA tight. Reduce range of movement, remember? So keeping the leg at hip height, you don't want to let your leg come down here. So keeping it at that hip height, drag it back. So imagine that back wall is a blackboard and you are just drawing a line with your heel across that blackboard. So you're stabilizing your leg at hip height using your glute med. Core is on. 5, squeeze it back. And in. And again, 4, squeeze it back. 3, 2, last one, pull it back, hold on to the floor, little lifts. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Give your bum a little bit of a hit or a rub, what feels better, the most comfortable, or let go of the pain. Okay, so again, be really mindful. Did you see I really use my hands to push myself up? So be really careful about getting up and also be slow in your transitions. Don't rush, okay? Same leg. Okay, left leg is going to extend up to the sky and you are going to flex your knee and flex your ankle, okay? So think about hugging the tummy in, stabilizing, so try not to sink over to the right. Inhale, drop the knee down. Exhale, TVA, squeeze that knee up high as you extend the hip. But try not to lift it too high so that we start to go into your lower back. So inhale, squeeze the bum and open the hip. Inhale. Exhale, push. Shoulders nice and strong, protracting the shoulder blades. Every time you lift that heel, you squeeze the TVA. Inhale. 5 more. 4, 3, 2. Last one, hold. 3, 2, and 1. Release. Come to 4-point kneeling, and I just want you to twist your hips from side to side. So just moving those hips from side to side. And then I want you to bring it over to the left, and you're going to look over your left shoulder and look at your left hip and squeeze your left side body together. And then over to the right. So try and side flex your right side body. Over to the left, crunch, tummy nice and tight, over to the right. Really good for getting the pelvis moving. 3, 2, and 1. Lifting into your cat, scooping the tummy. And then as you push back, just open the chest. And then again, round and lift into your cat. Inhale, push back, open the chest. Round and lift. Push back, open the chest. 2 more, round and lift. Open the chest. Last one, round and lift. And push back as you open the chest. Nice. Okay, we've got the other side to do. So we're going to lie on our left hand side, on our forearm or on our arm with our pillow. So grab your pillow. Be careful about coming down. If you're on your forearm, make a fist with your hand. Make sure the elbow is underneath your shoulder. Okay? And our left knee is bent and our top leg is straight. Okay? Tummy is nice and tight, so my TVA is on. And I've got my pillow here if you're lying down on the floor. Okay? So flex your foot, top hip facing forward. Don't let it come up towards the sky. Let's go. Lift. Push the heel away from you. That leg wants to be as straight as you possibly can. Inhale to lower. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. Exhale to lift. Now can you see I'm not lifting that leg too high? It's actually why I like being on my elbow, because it stops me from lifting my leg too high. Whereas if I'm lying here, I can get that leg way higher. Yeah? And when you are in your 3rd trimester, you want to reduce range of movement as much as you can. Well, not as much as you can, but just avoid doing big movements. Good. Lift and lower. Keep pushing that heel away from you, okay? You want to keep the length and the strength. And the movement's coming from this right glute med. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold it. Now bring the leg forward. You're trying to keep the pelvis still. You're just moving the leg forward and back, and it's staying up at hip height. So TVA to tighten that neutral spine, or to stabilize that neutral spine, I should say. Good. Watch this left shoulder is starting to sink, so you've got to keep reminding yourself of the whole body being in the right alignment. 5, 4. Sideline work is so good for when you are heavily pregnant, because it is comfortable, but you can also work out pretty much your whole body. Last one, pull it back, and then little pulses. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Ooh, give it a rub. Now again, push your hands, slowly and mindfully come to 4-point kneeling position. Okay, so let's go on to that other side. So hands under the shoulders, index finger facing forward, and spread the fingers wide. Protracting the shoulders and lift the chest up to sky. The left leg is stabilizing, right leg is going to lift up to sky. Not too high, just to a comfortable position, okay? Open the hips, squeeze the bum, and flex the heel towards your bum. Inhale to lower. Exhale, squeeze and lift. Push that heel up. Try not to extend the leg. You want to keep that hamstring working, so squeeze the heel to bum. Inhale. Exhale, squeeze bum to lift. Inhale. Exhale, breathe out deeply as you tighten that TVA. Inhale. Try not to lift that leg too high so that you compromise on the spine. You want to try and keep that spine nice and long. Good. 5 more. 4. If this is going into your wrist, you can always do it on your forearms. 3, 2. Last one. Hold it for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lovely. Open those knees wide and sink back into a chest lifted shells, because you probably won't be able to get all the way down to the floor. So just come to here, and then just little movements again with the hips, just from side to side, sinking and lifting 1 at a time. Good. 3, 2, and 1. Nice. Okay, coming and sitting on your right side, so on your right hip, and then bring your left leg back behind you and your right leg in front of you, if that's comfortable. And then you're going to bring your right hand onto the side and just side bend over to the left. And then reach the left arm up and windmill as far as you can go. You might not be able to get that far. Inhale, exhale. Inhale and exhale. One more time. And up and over we go. Now guys, just a pointer. If you want to, because this is called a 3rd trimester workout, that doesn't mean that you can't keep going back to 2nd trimester. I wouldn't go to 1st trimester. If you feel comfortable and strong enough to do the exercises in 2nd trimester, then definitely do them. They're really good, especially sort of Superman and 4-point kneeling and upper back work. But as you can see, 3rd trimester work is definitely a little bit slower, a little bit more controlled, and just a little bit easier on your body, because you need to kind of reserve your energy for what's to come. Anyway, I really hope you enjoyed that. Take your time. Any questions, I'm always here, so please let me know, and I'll see you soon. Bye.